Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So it seems black folk in Michigan are mad because Biden didn't come see them when he was there. You know, I think Biden came to Dallas yesterday. Who cares? Anyway, this story is from the Washington Post, and it reads, Biden skipped visiting a black church on his recent Michigan trip, angering some community leaders. My thing is, what do we want, right? We say Biden goes to these churches, these politicians go to these churches every 4 years, and we say, man, what are they doing? They're doing the same thing they always do. They only show up every 4 years. Go to the church house, get up there and do some kind of speech or sermon or whatever, and then they leave and they hope that you vote for them. And unfortunately, you do, because I guess you think God sent them there. I don't get it. So now I guess he heard that, heard the rumblings, and he said, well, I won't go visit a black church. I'll go somewhere else. I'll go sit in front of somebody's house or a golf course and see how that goes. And that didn't make anybody happy either. Me, myself, I don't care. 4 years, every 4 years, I feel that it's redundant. It's useless to me. It doesn't impress me. I'll say that. What would impress me is you going to see people all the time. Pop up on them. You got 365 days a year. I know you're busy running the country, trying to, be the ruler of the free world, trying to bring in all the migrants, send all the money out to these foreign countries. I get it. It's a lot to do. But every now and then you should just pop up on some people, brothers and sisters in the communities, and see how they're doing and see what can be done. And then actually doing something, not just coming there to just get votes, show your face and get votes. That stuff is getting old with the younger crowd. But let's get into this story. Saginaw, Michigan. President Joe Biden headed to Michigan last week to boost his support with black voters and hedge against the growing opposition that the White House's staunch support for Israel has sparked with Muslims in the critical swing state. Now, I said these Muslims are upset because Biden is putting all this money or giving all the money to Israel for this war or confrontation against Hamas. And a lot of Muslims are not happy about that, and they have programs, or they have created, programs is groups and organizations that saying, hey, what do they say? Joe must go. Like, they're not voting for Biden this year. So he has some bigger problems than going to a church. But some African-American leaders now say they feel alienated after Biden failed to meet with more leading black community members when visiting Saginaw, the city northwest of Detroit that has become Michigan's premier political bellwether and where 46% of the residents are black. Organizers familiar with the trip plans said that one of several original proposed sites for the president to visit was a black church. Imagine that, huh? The idea was to find a venue where union workers, black community leaders, college students, and supporters from other key constituencies could head out after the event and knock on doors for Biden. The president ultimately went to the front porch of two local leaders. So he went to somebody's house, okay, who are both, what? Wait a minute. The president ultimately went to the front porch of two local leaders who are both white, then met with a black family at a public golf course. So he didn't even seem like he didn't go to the hood. He said, nope, not going to the hood, not kicking it with you black people. Going to the porch of people both. I didn't even see that first time I read this. Hurley Coleman Jr., a prominent Saginaw pastor and staunch Biden supporter, whose son and grandson met Biden at the golf course, called the trip a missed opportunity for the president's campaign to engage with the community in a way that was, quote, real as opposed to what we saw. Quote, I can't escape the reality of what was initially anticipated didn't happen, said Coleman Jr. And what was initially anticipated really needs to happen, and sooner rather than later. What exactly did Brother Coleman anticipate, and what exactly did he plan to gain from Biden coming to his church? Because I'm quite sure no one who would have went there would have said anything about, the migrant crisis, said anything about reparations, the war with Ukraine, the war with Israel and Hamas, or the Palestinians, or what have you. I don't think they would have done that. I believe it would just been a freaking photo op, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And which is what it always has been, just a photo op, because it's time to vote. Any slights could loom large in what is a precarious political moment for Biden, with some allies already concerned about the anger in Michigan's sizable Arab American community over Israel's war in Gaza. Biden's support among Black adults has sharply fallen since the start of his presidency, and former President Donald Trump's campaign believes it can flip parts of the core Democratic constituency in November's election. Biden was backed, now get this, Biden was backed by 91% of Black voters in the 2020 presidential election, according to AP Votecast, a sweeping survey of the electorate. But his approval rating among Black adults was 58% in a recent latest Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research poll. There's also a story out there that says Black Americans are gonna, are not voting for Democrats, but would never be Republicans. And I would say to that, never say never, because you probably said you would never been a Democrat back when we were all voting for Republicans. So never say never. Times can change. You see enough, somebody piss you off enough, or do bad by you, or don't come through for you, breaking promises and doing stuff for other people. Oh, you'll never say never again. State Board of Election President Pamela Pugh, who lives in Saginaw, said Black and faith-based leaders, quote, felt like there was an opportunity that was missed for there to be a back and forth conversation, but also room for it being more inclusive and inviting to the larger base. Well, maybe they would have talked about things that the president didn't want to speak of. Because every time you see the president going to someone's house, going to someone's restaurant, someone's place of business, you see the photo up, they shake hands and they keep moving. They never talk about anything. They never talk about the issues. That's when the president should speak and be heard, when you talking face to face to someone. Because I'm a type of person that if we got an issue, I don't want to call. I don't want you to send me no letter or text message. I mean, we can talk on the phone a little bit, but maybe send a couple of text messages back and forth. But after that, nah, I think we need to sit down and have a talk. Because with text messages, a person can write a 5-page text and I'm not going to read it. Phone conversations, people can hang up in your face and that would only upset me more. So we can just sit down and talk face to face, because neither one is going to run. Neither one's really going to yell unless we're trying to take it to another level. But we'll just try to handle like, grown folks. But maybe he was afraid of that. Knowing face to face, it's kind of hard not to answer people, and you can't do like your press conferences and walk away, off the stage, off the podium, after only answer like 1 or 2 questions. Shoot, you in front of people, you walk away, you looking bad. Reporters, it's different. Your voter base, no, you can't walk away from them. Let's see. Pugh, also a Democrat running for a U.S. House seat in Saginaw's district, added that it was a slight on the Black American community, especially given that he was coming to Saginaw and it seemed like it was to meet with the communities of color, but yet he went to the porch of 2 white people. Amazing. Biden's re-election campaign referred questions about the visit to community leaders and attendees of the president's events, as well as to the Michigan Democratic Party. State Party Chair Lavora Barnes said in a statement, "You can't get a more fired up or authentic Joe Biden than the one we saw on a porch in Saginaw." Dr. Crane Tatum, senior pastor for Saginaw's New Life Baptist Church ministry, said that his church was initially selected as a potential place for the president to visit, which he called a great honor. "I wasn't necessarily given any reason why things changed," said Tatum, who added that he was fine with the change since to say the president considered our site was quite an honor itself. These are people who just still don't want nothing. They don't care. Like say photo ops to say, hey, the president was going to come to my church this week. You come there on Sunday, then they're going to ask for more money. They're going to expect you to give, the tithes and offerings for the church. And then, but I could have sworn that legally politics and churches were not supposed to mix. Where did that change, and why is it that nobody says anything about it? I don't get it. I don't understand these laws that these people, put into place and then break them when they feel like it. It says the city of Saginaw has large numbers of Black and union affiliated voters and is a Democratic stronghold, but it is encircled by predominantly Republican areas within the larger county and has swung back and forth to support the winning presidential candidate in 4 straight elections. Okay. Biden spoke to supporters on the porch of the home of Councilman Bill Ostash and school board leader Kevin Rooker before meeting with Saginaw resident Hurley Coleman III and his 13-year-old son Hurley Coleman IV at a local public golf course. Man, if the optics of that, see, let's go back to the old white men and young Black folks on the golf course. And they were supposed to play golf with the president, but that's what the story gonna say. But it rained. Back in the day, that when the older white men or the rich white men, well-to-do white men were playing golf, they had caddies. You know who your caddies were? Young Black boys. You know why? Because at the time, just like being a waiter, being a caddy was not a job that them folk wanted. It was looked down upon. Looked down upon so much that's why they would give them tips. Little quarter, dollar here, this, that, and the third. Because they poor Black folk just working, happy to work. And so they would work off tips. But as time went on and these, young Black men and women go home and young boys and girls go home and they say, look how much money I made. They making probably more money than their parents, probably more money than some of them folk and their parents. Then the look, the perception changed. Now everybody wants to be a caddy. Now it's like, hey, go get your job being a caddy as a boy or a girl or whatever. What I think girls like bring drinks and stuff like that. Stores that say, like say one white girl, she bought that. Was working there in the one golf course, and she talking about how she make hundreds of dollars a day. She might get hit on and flirted with older men, but she make a lot of money doing them jobs. Like I say, jobs that nobody else wanted. So when you look at this migrant crisis, so think about it. When they say that the migrants are doing jobs that we don't want, well, it ain't that we don't want them. It's because the pay is terrible. We want, what I'm saying? We, and I mean our people and anybody else who's not doing it, because it ain't just Black folks living in America. You got Blacks, you got whites, you got Asians, you got, Hispanics, Europeans, Australia, people from all over the world live in this country that don't mind doing the jobs, but like I said, the pay just does not equal out. But with these caddies back in the day, the pay didn't equal out. Like I say, now you can do it. But either way, you ain't really supposed to make a living on the job. It's supposed to be good for youngers trying to get through college, through high school, make some decent money. and buy what they want. That's basically that's what it is. But anyway, yeah, the cat like say, yeah. So you see this old white man with these two black people around him holding umbrellas in these pictures. That to me, being a brother from the South, that's just not a good look. Folks seem like they indeed get their hopes up. It was a smaller crowd, 40, 50 people at the most, but I think it was a pretty good blend, age and gender and race, labor leadership, party leadership, activists, Adams said. There's more than 50 people that are influential in Saginaw. So if I didn't get the opportunity to be on that porch that day, I may have felt some sort of way as well. So he got in, so he don't care what y'all thinking. Coleman III and his son had planned to play golf with Biden, but heavy rains the day of the visit forced them to instead meet inside the course's clubhouse. Biden's campaign noted that a TikTok of their meeting indoors has been viewed by more than 1 million times. The executive director of a local nonprofit, Coleman III, said he spoke to Biden about the need of a black man trying to raise his family in the community, and I paralleled that with the needs of other black people and what they need in this community. Nothing said anything about migrants, so there must not be too many migrants in that city. Nothing said about reparations. Nothing said about, he said like things that's needed for the community. That's fine, but that's what I always say. Sometimes, man, you got to get specific with these people, not just in general, but he probably was told what to ask. Coleman III said Biden was very alert and acute to the issues that we are facing. I think they made efforts, but I do believe that it could have been better, Coleman III said. I think if they can come back, it would do well to really add the voices that were missed. All in all, black people, to summarize this was just a photo op. That's it. If I can see this story, let's say 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months, 7 months, 17 months ago, and they sat down and talked, then I may well be like, hey, it might be something to this guy because he's actually in the community trying to do things. But not when he's throwing money everywhere, but in my community. And that is really the only issue that we should be concerned about when speaking to these politicians. What are you going to do financially to help the Black American community? I don't want no community center. I don't want another holiday. Don't need Miss Oprah Lee to do no speech. No disrespect to Miss Oprah Lee, the grandmother, godmother of Juneteenth. She did a great thing. But we're talking about it as a community. I don't need no empty thanks and something that's gonna say, all right, man, nothing. I don't need no more feel good moments. I need something tangible. Give everyone else something tangible. That's what we need. Laws and money. The two things that drive this country. Anywho, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Hey, let's dialogue. You know how we do around here. Speaking of monetary, there's 4 non-monetary ways you can support this channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe. All 4 probably take you no more than a couple of minutes. Helps with the channel, helps boost the channel, the algorithm, helps get more supporters, gets more views, and helps build the channel. But if you want to get in contact with me, got any stories you want to send, you want to talk, ask questions, hit me up at soulinthesoil@gmail.com. And if you feel the need to, or feel it in your heart to, help monetarily, you can click on some of the links below, a couple of links below in the description box, and you can support there. But either way, any kind of support, I appreciate it and I thank you. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.